Good morning, folks. Good morning. This is Dr. Emma Fraser Pendleton for your Monday morning Mindset Reset. Today's topic is self-control. So I'm going to come from an absolutely real, authentic self-control experience. What are you talking about, Dr. Emma? So, as we began the live video last week, the internet went out. This week, the internet would not connect. So for me, when the technology is complicated or it doesn't seem to work, it creates all kinds of gut-rendering, oh my God, I can't master this feeling. My self-control that I'm going to teach about or talk about this morning from this place of authentic experience clicked in. Once again, my team is on the phone. They're supporting me. I'm saying, I don't know what's happening. I can feel the topic that I'm talking about or was scheduled to talk about, self-control, just fading into the distance. My stomach is sinking. My knees have turned to jelly. I said, oh my goodness, these folks are on the line and I can't get on the line. So we click off. We connect to my team. We're trying to figure out what's wrong. In the meantime, I'm literally falling apart inside. I'm trying to keep my voice calm because technology challenges me, but I'm willing to try. So we try again, it doesn't work. So then I pull myself together and I say, well, it must be something to do with the phone. So we go into the phone settings. Do I know what I'm doing? I don't think I know what I'm doing. I'm all out of control emotionally, but I say, well, let's try this in this very calm voice, which is not an indication of how I feel inside. It's my performance voice, but I'm out of control inside. I feel all the confusion in my brain. So then I said, well, let's go to settings. Do I know what I'm really talking about? As I said, no. So we go into settings and I start clicking buttons and my team is on the phone on a conference call. Miss Emma, try this. We try that. It doesn't work. So I take a moment. I get off the phone. I said, Emma, you got to do this. So I get back on. I start clicking buttons. I said, well, maybe I have it on the wrong Wi-Fi calling network. So I actually find the network myself, folks, on this phone that looks like Google Goggle the instructions to me. I said, well, if this one doesn't work, let me go to the other one, which I did. And magically, it worked. Now, I'm still upset because I'm teaching on self-control and I'm out of control. So, today I want to say, what is self-control? Self-control is what you have when you feel out of control, like me. So we connect, we go live. My team says, yay, we got it. So I say to them, well, I'm 15 minutes out, so we'll do this next Monday. This is the importance of team. When you are out of control, it is important to have your team or your ride or die or your BFF, whoever you call these people, whatever the title you give them. They said, okay, we're going to do this. I said, but they said, oh no, we'll start this at 9:30. Again, my stomach starts jumping. I'm out of control. I'm not in the mood to do self-control. And then I realized, Emma, you just experienced what you were going to teach. So here's my lesson. Here's my lesson, folks. You got to look at the big picture when the frame has cracked. So they would not let me out of it. So here I am. So here's what I'm going to say. And we're going to change the format of our show. I talked to my team. I have so much to do that I'm out of self-control because I know I have all this to do. So I said, we're moving to the 15-minute Emma TED Talk model. Because this is the first thing I do on Monday morning. I'm writing books. I'm dealing with clients. And I said earlier, before the call started, team, I got to move to a different format because the 45 minutes isn't working for me right now. And so, what is self-control? When you're in the ditch of your emotions, when you have fallen apart and you better have that stage performance face on, that's when you know if you have self-control. Can you pull yourself up by your bootstraps and do the thing that is challenging you at the moment? Everything inside of you says, I can't do it. But you know on the other side of your brain where you have that little piece of control, where you still don't want to go running and screaming into the daylight, which is what I wanted to do. And your team says, you got to do this. So we get back on the line and it works. And my lesson was, Emma, what you teach, what you preach, you got to live. So by some divine intervention, that experience was brought to me so I can talk to you about what it feels like. And so just my talk for today is, what is self-control? When do you know that you have mastered it? And sometimes it's just for the moment, like me today. I mastered my fear. Self-control is overcoming the fear in the moment. Don't think about what's going to happen next Monday morning, Emma. Think about what you have to do this Monday morning. This Monday morning, you have got to go live. So we're live. So the big picture, what I said, the big picture. Beyond the fear and look into the future of success. You have to move into that new venue that calms you down. This is going to work because what I said to my team was a 5-year-old can do Facebook. My grandson has his own YouTube channel and he's 11. I said, that's impossible, Emma. You can do this. So, the big picture. The big picture. So I moved out of the broken frame and saw myself actually doing this. And so now I'm doing it. So, control thyself when you are out of control is the ultimate goal. Everybody can be cool, calm, and collected when things are going the way you thought they were to be planned. What's happening in your life? What's shaking you to the core? Now, my experience on the internet this morning was only the tip of an iceberg, because the real fear for Dr. Emma Fraser Pendleton is, how in the freakle frackle will I ever master this technology? The Google, the Yahoo, the Twitter, the Dida, the Dong, the Facebook Live, the posting, the recordings. How will I ever learn all that? That's what's coming into my mind. And yet, all I had to do was say, I just have to control this piece this morning. And that's what I want to tell you Facebook listeners out there. Whatever the event, whatever the circumstances, however minor, because technology might be minor to you, but it's a big deal to me. It's a big deal to me. So you say, oh, Miss Emma, that's nothing. I've been doing Facebook Live. I got my own YouTube channel like my 11-year-old grandson. But for me, it's a big deal because I wasn't born in this world. I was born at a time when there were no cell phones. I saw the coming of cell phones. And I'll give you an example. So I resisted a cell phone because I said, oh, that's not really important. So I remember I got my first cell phone. It was a flip phone. Some of you may not remember that, but I do. I had the phone for 1 month. I didn't know how to cut it on. It would ring, and I'd sit there and look at it because I didn't know that all you had to do was push the green button. But what I didn't do was I didn't ask anybody for help because I figured this is the dumbest thing in the world. I'm going to ask somebody how to cut this little thing on. Finally, after a month, I'm in a big meeting in my office and it goes off. I excuse myself. I go outside. I'm pushing buttons. Nothing happens. After the meeting was over, I said to a young person, could you please show me how to put my phone on? They bust out laughing. I said, I know it sounds funny. How long you had this phone, Emma? I said, I've had it about a month. They took me somewhere, showed me what to do, and my phone went on. I thought it was magic. It was the beginning of my experience with this mobile technology. And of course, all the other things happened. How do I text? How do I connect my phone to my email address? That was all like the world of wonder. How would I do that? Of course, I didn't do that right away. I was happy just to answer the phone. Just to answer the phone. So, what's the lesson? Answer the call at the time it happens, folks. When things come into your life, you got to deal with them in the now. You have to do it now. Don't let your mind take you way out to the cliff where you want to jump off. So, looking at the big picture is absolutely crucial to understanding the journey. I wanted to know it all. Sometimes when I'm on the phone with my team and we're talking about the technology and my head is reeling, and Taria, my social media person, and Colette, my administrative assistant, I feel so dumb that they have to keep taking me through this process. So what they don't know is my first fear is that they're going to think I'm dumb. And so what? They don't care, because that's why we are a team, because they're there to help me. So look at the big picture. Ask for the help that you need. People will say, and I said it to myself, and I'm an educator, and I've taught it in classes when I was a teacher, and I taught it to principals, and I worked with superintendents, and I was an assistant superintendent. And I would say when I was introducing a new curriculum, there is no stupid question. The only stupid question is the one that you don't ask. The help that you don't seek. Your control is inward, but it is dependent upon what are the outward extensions that you reveal to people, the outward fears, and say, help me, I don't have this. And you don't have to be so serious. I'm really funny, but when it comes to this technology, I get deadpan serious, because my fear is I'm never going to know how to do this. And you know what? When I think about the first time I touched a computer, I was up at graduate school at Harvard, folks. And I brought a computer up to Harvard, and I didn't know how to work it. But I also came with a brand new typewriter. Some of you don't know what they are, but typewriters are where you click the keys. I said, oh, I'm never going to master this computer. So I took out the electric typewriter. That thing was so complicated, I closed it and said, if I can spend the time to know how to use this, then I'm going to spend the time knowing how to use this computer. And so I made friends up there. I was the only married woman in the dorm. I was the senior person in the dorm. I left that room and got me some youngins, some young folk. I said, I don't know what I'm doing. They came to my room. They laughed and they showed me how to do it. I had to get over the fear that I can't do this and somebody's going to think that I'm a dumb bunny. And you know, at that moment, I was a dumb bunny, but it's okay. It's okay, folks. So I had a paper due within 30 days after being at graduate school. They helped me. They came to my room at night and I mastered that computer skill because I overcame the feeling of inadequacy, which is what triggers lack of self-control about the everyday things. There are things that come in your life. I had a car accident, but I remember sitting in that car when I had this accident and hit a tree. And I was actually calm. What I really didn't know is I was in shock. But when we're in shock about any experience, folks, take a deep breath. The ambulance came. They helped me. They took me to the hospital. I had a broken hand, a knot on my head. I injured my knee. I demolished a Ford Expedition truck with 22-inch rims. I had to get over that. So I learned my lesson. So my lesson is, look at the big picture. And this may sound paradoxical or ironic. In those moments when that fear, false evidence appearing real, telling you that you can't do it, telling you that you're out of control, you have to say, relax. What does that mean? It doesn't mean that you act like you're having a birthday cake, but you have to pull that gut in. You have to pull your mind in. You have to say, what's the worst that could happen? So in the car accident, I could have been killed, but I was alive. So a broken hand was insignificant compared to what could have happened. What could have happened? So what was going to be the worst thing that happened this morning? I didn't go live because there was something, a setting, misaligned in my phone that I actually figured out. I actually figured it out because I said, Emma, you have to get control. And so when my team said, no, you're going on live, I said to myself, okay, Emma, you're going to let the folks know exactly what you just experienced about self-control. It's the ditch diving experience where you want to just absent yourself from it and tell yourself, no, I don't want to do this. I can't do this. This can't work. But I didn't do it because I had support. So I had the help that I asked for. I pulled myself together, and I'm doing it. And I'm doing it. So for all of you folks out there that are challenged by technology, I want you to text challenge, 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 challenge. Because there's something in your life. Gail, who's on the line. Alma, my good friend, she's on the line. There's something that challenges all of us. Don't let it be your phone. Don't let it be your PC. Because there's a million ways to get help. I guarantee you that if I left my house and I found another 11-year-old in the street and handed them my phone and said, they would have looked at it because they were born in it. They would have said, oh, this is what you need to click, lady. So if they could show me, then it's possible for me to own it. So, the thing about technology, it's our gateway to the world. It's global. For me, as a speaker and an author, I've got to know how to use this. It's not an option, but I sure was ready to opt myself from it this morning. Facebook Live, you won't be seeing Dr. Emma Facebook Live because she can't even get on the line. And yet I'm here. And yet I'm here. And you can do whatever it is in your life that you want to do. So think about that thing that challenges you on a daily basis, or it comes up periodically, or whenever it comes up, you have that flight or fright. That's the term when you're in an emergency. The body produces hormones, a certain kind of cortisol, and it gives you the energy to deal with that situation. There have been times, I'm going to go back to the car incident, there have been times when they have documented that a mother's child was somehow under a car, child got hit, and the mother lifted the car and got the child. How does a little woman lift the car? It was the energy. So when you are under something and it's pressing you, if at all possible, relax as much as you can, take a deep breath and tell yourself, what's the worst